Hey guys, watch me turn my storage unit into a salon suite. So first I went and bought peel and stick tiles and I laid them down. Now I didn't lay these down in the correct brick layered method, and that is because I didn't want to have to cut any of the tiles down at the end. Work smarter, not harder. They still came out cute. Ugly floors are covered. Then I put the peel and stick wallpaper, and I was being cheap, y'all, so I reused wallpaper that I had in my garage, and it was a mess. It took forever. There were still some wrinkles and bubbles in it, and I was okay with this only because the couch was going to cover the areas that had the bubbles on the bottom. It still came out really, really cute. Here I am putting my wall up with my light. And
I got a question. So, since when can you put a business in a storage? Can y'all tell me that? Can that be done?
See, y'all was giving my girl a hard time in her storage units, so I got one too. So we have now 2 lash techs in the DMV that do lashes in their storage unit. I rented one just specifically just to show y'all that it can be done, and I'm going to use it. So it will be me doing individuals, and I will have a cluster tech in here too. So if you can't afford me, you can get the more affordable option and get you some quick clusters to go about your day. So for all of y'all that are hating in the comments, now we have 2 girls in the DMV that do lashes in their storage unit. You will not be able to shut us down. You will not stop our business. I know y'all think y'all negative comments and y'all calls to the board and the police or whatever you're doing is going to stop us from hustling. Not happening.
Storage Unit DIY Hair Space Part 1.
Eggs. Yes, I do hair in the storage unit. And it's also a rehearsal unit for those that want to have a space.
Y'all have been eating me up about my salon suite storage unit, and I just wanted to say maybe y'all are right. So we're gonna go to the storage unit and we are gonna get clarity right now, because God is not the author of confusion. Good, how are you? I had a quick question. Yes. So I know that you guys allow businesses. I wanted to know what the limitations were on businesses here.
What limitations?
So it would be if it was like braiding hair, where like it's just simply braiding hair.
You could do that.
Okay, of course. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel, as you guys can tell by the title as well as the intro today. We're going to be talking about how people are starting businesses in storage units. Now, if you guys have been here before, shout outs to you. I love you, especially if you're on the Patreon or the membership. You guys will remember we actually talked about how people were doing lashes out of storage units and their cars. Now people have taken it the extra mile, okay? The extra level. Now they're opening other businesses in storage units. I guess people were inspired by the tomfoolery and the fuckery, right? And of course, there's a lot of issues wrong with this, which we're going to highlight in the rest of this video. But anytime anyone speaks out against this and say why this is a horrible idea, there's people that are just calling us haters and saying that we don't want people to succeed and we don't want to see people win. But it's just really frustrating and ridiculous to me how a lot of y'all just continue to make Black people look bad. Look, that's my issue with it, because for me, okay, outside looking in, inside looking out, whatever the fuck, it just looks like we don't know how to get our shit together. You got Dr. Cheyenne out here saying she's a therapist, but she don't got a PhD or any type of credentials. Dr. Umar been collecting money for over 20 years and still hasn't produced the school. Fucking Stormy Washington is finally getting caught up by the FTC for selling y'all dreams and bullshit in a bottle, telling you gonna lose weight, and then jumping ship from that company to go sell you bullshit from another company. I just can't. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. This shit is starting to get really exhausting. I know other nations and other genders do this too. Let's not be slow, but I'm a Black woman. So, you know, I'm going to talk about Black issues. I'm Haitian. I'm going to speak from a Haitian-American perspective. So yes, other people do this too, but unfortunately, a majority of what I'm seeing personally is Black people doing it. For this video, we're mainly talking about people doing personal services in storage units, not necessarily all the other stuff which we're going to touch on. So when I saw that people were opening businesses in storage units, I fucking lost it. I was just like, y'all are dead fucking serious. The lashes thing was already an issue, but storage units. Like, I don't think you guys understand how bad this just makes everyone look, okay, on our end, okay? It makes women look bad. It makes black people look bad. And I'm one of those people that, like, I believe we're not a monolith. I believe everyone should be entitled to do whatever it is that they want without thinking, oh, well, what are people going to think of black women if I do this? Or what are black people going to think if I do this and represent? As much as I believe we are individuals, unfortunately, people do not think that way. And what we all do truly affect us as a whole. As much as a lot of us don't want to hear that, even like when people be like, oh, well, why is this person making this type of music and the youth is listening to it? Unfortunately, as much as a lot of us don't agree with the whole monolith situation, it's just the way the world is, and it is the way it's probably going to continue to be for as long as a lot of us are alive, okay? People see one of us do something stupid, okay? And it makes all of us look bad. I hate it. I don't make the rules. That's just the way it is. Now, of course, let's go down the rabbit hole of why this is a horrible idea. If you are out here doing any services that are based in beauty or health, this is disgusting. This is illegal. This is problematic, and it is unprofessional. Yes, you have your space. Yes, sis, make your money. Yes, all you need is a space to conduct business, but hello, how are you going to keep a cleanly space in a storage unit? There's no running water. You got lights. It looks good. You have a base, so to speak, but no, you don't, because it is a storage unit. It is not an office. It is not a suite. It is not sanitary by any means to be doing any of these services out of a storage unit or even your car. I feel like the car situation could be its own video, but I'm just going to touch on it in this one. Let me know down below if you guys want a video on the people running businesses out of their cars. And the thing is, I need you guys to understand, right, before I go further, that I'm not knocking people getting money by any means necessary. I'm knocking people not doing shit the right way and continuously making us look bad. And then us, people that are calling it out and trying to make sure you guys don't kill yourselves or get a fucking crazy ass bacteria by getting your eyelashes done in a storage unit. You know, I'm trying to make sure that you guys understand, okay, that this is problematic in every sense of the word. It is not just, oh, well, we're just saying this and we're sitting up on a high horse. Like, now, obviously, right, there are some suitable businesses that can be run effectively out of a storage unit. Here are some examples.
My small business finally outgrew my house. I needed more space, and I just wanted my home to be a home again, so I got a storage unit, y'all. So come along with me while I turn this storage unit into a warehouse. Of course, storage units does not have lights or electricity inside them. Therefore, I had to buy my own power supply, and this is what I decided to go with. These items will be linked in my Amazon storefront if you are interested. These are the magnetic lights I'm using. They stick to the wall in the storage unit, so they're very convenient. It has 4 different settings, a low, medium, and a high light situation, and it even blinks. You can charge your phone and other objects on it as well. And these are the lights I've been had. They will be linked in my Amazon storefront as well. I do plan on doing content in here and doing my photo shoots and whatever else for my brand. So that's why I brought those lights on over here. And the reason why I decided to go with a storage unit instead of an actual warehouse is because I'm cheap. It just don't make sense for me right now to get a space around this size for $800 plus a month when I could just pay like $120 here.
Telling me to get a storage unit for my business. Okay, now that you're here, we're not gonna call it a storage unit. We're gonna call it a warehouse because it's my mini warehouse for my clothing brand. This is where I'll be pressing your shirts, packing them, and shipping them while also making content for my brand. You see, that's why I call it a warehouse. Okay, now let's get into the unit. This is a 10 by 12.5, which is the second largest space, and I think it's perfect to start off to put some shelves, some power, and some lighting. Come back for part 2 to see how I decorate.
Now, there's no problem with that. If you're shipping things out of the storage unit, you are packaging things, you're using it as a mini warehouse, this makes sense. But when you're bringing other people in there, it's more of a concern of safety. At the end of the day, there's virtual businesses. At the end of the day, there's traveling businesses. If you guys are not aware, I do YouTube full time. I also have a dance nonprofit. Shout out to those of you guys who have come to the classes or sent a donation to the nonprofit. I work with wedding clients, children, competition kids. I don't have a studio. If I have to rent one, I have one that I go to all the time. But for the most part, I go to my clients. I work with them in their homes. If I'm having a class, I rent a studio because I don't need a physical space yet. I would love to have a physical space, but I don't. In my house, I have a separate office. I have an entire room dedicated to what I do because this is my full-time job. Even for Media Hustle, where I give you guys consultations, I do it right here at this desk in my house. You don't need to go get a damn storage unit. Now, I understand separating work from home. Even I thought of having an outside office at one point because it just seemed a little bit cheaper than having a 2-bedroom apartment. But I was like, I'm not going to really physically go there. I'm not about to sit there and get up and be like, all right, let me go film in my office. I'm not going to do it. I already know that. Too many steps. I got ADHD. Y'all already know how that shit go, right? But for the most part, my businesses do not need me to be in a separate space. Now, when it comes to beauty or other personal type of services, I understand wanting a separate space, right? You don't want people all up in your house when you're doing hair or lashes or whatever. I completely understand that. But like I said, get your money, etc. I need you guys to also understand the professionalism of it all. There's not many people that are going to book you knowing that you're in a storage unit. There's not many people that are going to book you not knowing that you're in a storage unit and then show up and actually stay for that appointment. Most people are not going to support that because it looks unprofessional. Honestly, what really kicked this off was the girl that does lashes in her storage unit, and then the other girl that was getting dragged for talking about how she does lashes and other beauty services in her storage unit. Like, that shit became a whole big day. She was in a frenzy, going off on people in the comments because she said that niggas was getting smart with her and catch an attitude. She's gonna catch an attitude back, but then she ended up getting a suite. I wonder why. Did the comments get to you, or did you really think it made sense to have a business in a storage unit? Like,
Went from storage unit to suite and while still mad.
Are y'all on the same FYP where that girl opened up shop inside of a storage unit doing lashes and brows and then is upset when people no call, no show her? Essentially, this girl decided to turn a regular storage unit into like a lash service. No running water, nowhere to wash your hands, anything like that. And then people keep, I'm going to guess they show up and they're like, I'm not getting abducted. And they leave. So they no call, no show her. I'm going to show you a little bit of it, okay? Okay. Are you walking in to get your lashes done here? You open up her storage unit. Hold on.
Opening up shop.
Wait for it. You can tell me you would show up for services. Girl. Apparently this has happened to her a couple times. She's posted about it. She is fighting in those comments about it. But as a woman, no, I'm not stepping foot inside of a storage unit. I think I'm going to get abducted. Also, that doesn't seem the most sanitary. There's no running water. What if there's an emergency and you have to wash the eyes out? I guess you use bottled water. I don't really know, but I thought you had to have one of those eye stations. I could be incorrect on that. I don't know, but I think the running water is probably a necessity.
Okay, y'all. I have to see how y'all feel about this situation. Okay, so I guess the girl, there is a lash artist. I'm not sure where was she in the DMV area? I'm not sure where she was located, but she had been, she started her lash business inside of a storage unit. She has been lashing out of a storage unit. And I guess she went viral here recently, and enough people called the police or called state board, and they shut her storage unit down. And I see people being angry, like, why don't y'all mind y'all's business? If clients knew what she was doing, it should be okay. For one, I'm never gonna call the police. I'm never gonna call state board on anybody. What you do with your time and your business is what you do. Eventually, state board or someone's gonna eventually find you and fine you. That's just how life is. I don't care that much. I might comment and say some things, but at the end of the day, people have to understand. When you are dealing with things, especially someone's eye, someone's ocular health, we see with these. Like, we see with our eyes. In doing things, there's someone that does does lashes in a car. When I started off my business, I was at home. You know, I know we all start from somewhere, but from my opinion, personally, starting in a car and starting in a storage facility just lets me know that you're not ready to start a business. Starting a business, you have to, for one, your sanitation and disinfection has to be top tier. A car has no water. It has no water for you to cleanse and sanitize your utensils. I don't see barbicide. I don't see caticide. I don't see any disinfectants. Even in the storage unit, I think the storage unit outside the girl in, she had no portable sink. Even if there's no running water and there's no ventilation in storage units. She kept on saying that people would show up and she was getting no call, no show. You think if I pulled up to a storage unit, I would think I was at the wrong place and somebody was trying to sex traffic me or kidnap me. I would not feel safe unless you're letting your clients know beforehand, hey, I perform my duties inside of a storage unit. But to get the girl closed and shut down, I'm not sorry that had to happen. But I feel like it's just a lesson to other people to you'll know when you're ready to start that business. If you have a home, I wish I could go back to working from home. If I was in the same house that I was in, I'd be back home right now. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with working from home. If you have a space where you can 100% provide services in that space and it's nice and it's clean, your house smells nice, and you still create a professional atmosphere at your home, there's nothing wrong with that. But please understand, these are people's eyes. Like, I think people are just worried about sanitation. I've seen quadruple dipping into, lash serums, or just, why are you using one thing, and dipped it in there 4 times and kept putting on the client's lashes, and she uses this on everybody. This is how people get styes. This is how people get eye infections. I know when they changed the laws here in Indiana from no license, they did no license for a little bit. So many people went to the ER because of eye issues that they had to change the laws again and make it that you had to have an esthetician license, Cosmo, or lash license. There's rules in place for a reason.
It comes off very ghetto. It comes off like you don't know what you're doing and that you're desperate. I'm going to be very real here. And I want you guys to comment down below. Would you go to someone doing hair, lashes, nails, honestly, consultations, whatever the case, in a storage unit? I really want to know. I want your guys' honest opinion, because I know there's people that are watching this that are like, well, if they're good, I would go. That's fine. That's fine. Get a fungus, get an infection. Next thing you know, you guys are on TikTok telling a 30-part story time of why you don't trust lash techs. And the first thing in the video is going to be, well, I pulled up and the address was a storage unit. Don't piss me off. Okay? Because it's all fun and games until you're the one that gets hurt. Everyone gives a fuck. Everyone cares. Everyone's going to cheer you on until it's their turn to have an issue, right? Until it's their turn to show up to somebody that's doing the same thing that they're saying is okay. All these people are going to give you all the likes, the accolades, and the love and the support on the internet, but are they really going to show up to get a service? That's what I need a lot of you guys to think about before you sit here and you go get these storage units that these people are telling you make sense to get for your business. Because a majority of people are not going to show up to a storage unit to support any type of business, let alone a beauty service. There are office spaces and suites specifically for this reason. Yes, they are expensive, but running a business is expensive. I always tell people starting a business is the easiest thing you will ever do. Running the business and keeping the business open is the hardest thing you will ever do. My nonprofit, shit, even worse than running a standard like LLC, whatever type of business, you feel me? And it's like, yeah, I thought about it too. I was laughing to myself while I was like making the notes for this video. I was like, yo, imagine I opened my dance studio in a storage unit. Practices in a storage unit. Can you imagine? And a lot of you guys are probably like, well, I don't see anything wrong with that. What's the issue with that? Well, see, this is how I know that a lot of y'all don't know much about dance, and that's fine because that's not your field, right? I would never be able to do that because the floors are not suitable for dance. That's how people get injured permanently. If you guys don't remember, right, or you haven't been here, I did a story time about how there was a school that I worked at and they had us dancing on concrete and I got sciatica from it. Okay, to this day, I still be feeling the pain in my hip. It is not safe to dance on concrete. Most of the storage floors are not suitable for dance. A lot of them are concrete and other materials that, again, are not suitable for dance. So I would never do that. I would never cut corners and do anything like that because I care about the safety of my students. Whether you're just taking one class with me, it's your wedding dance, whatever the case may be, it is actually safer to do it in your house than it is to do it in something like a storage unit. And I know that because I know my industry and I know my field. A lot of these motherfuckers that's out here trying to put lashes on you, trying to do your nails, trying to do your hair in a storage unit are not licensed. And that's part of the problem, because if they were licensed, they would see the issue with having a business and a storage unit. Okay? If these people were licensed, they would know that in their industry, this is not meeting industry standard. It'd be different if it met industry standard and it was just something that was taboo and people were just saying it was ghetto because it was a matter of personal opinion. However, this is not a matter of personal opinion. This is genuinely unsafe and uncleanly and absolutely disgusting and unprofessional. It's a lot of different things wrapped into one. But for whatever reason, this hustle culture, this go, make the money by any means, clout is the new crack type of shit, has got people losing their goddamn minds. I'm not going to anybody doing anything in the fucking storage unit. And it's funny because I know there's a lot of people that are like, well, I wouldn't go to anyone doing hair in their homes or nails in their home. Like, and I get that, but not really, because at least in their home, they're comfortable. There's running water. You can sanitize the space. You don't know what variables lie in a storage unit. Not to mention that a lot of storage units do not allow businesses. Now, from what I understand, some of them do. Allegedly. I'm not even about to test this theory because I personally would never do it. And I don't know anyone personally that would do some dumb shit like this. But now apparently people are calling up these storage units to find out, like, do you guys allow businesses or not? They're like, oh, well, you know, some places allow it, just because some place allows it doesn't mean you should do it. Okay, there's a lot of things that we're allowed to do as human beings with free will, but that doesn't mean it's something you should do. Also, especially if you're doing beauty services and stuff and you're licensed, as soon as that board finds out that you're doing that shit, you're at risk of losing your license. So is it really worth it? Is it really worth it in a general sense? Like, even if, like, say a lot of people are doing this shit secretly, right? And they're getting shut down. And these are not even like beauty services. But my thing is, like, for those of you guys who are actually licensed and unlicensed, the fact that you're doing it unlicensed is problem number one. But now you add another issue when you're doing shit like that in a storage unit where it's unsanitary. The fact that people are promoting this, right? The fact that people are doing it is one thing, but the fact that people are promoting this and telling people how to do this as if this is legitimate and it's a real opportunity to start your business is, I think, what really pisses me off, because they're not going over the key components of starting, opening, and running a business. First of all, hypothetically, if you are a nail tech and you want a place to do nails, now you think, okay, let me go open a storage unit. I'm going to do nails in there. And not only is there no running water, no way to really sanitize or ventilate the space properly, no matter how many fans or tubs of water you put in there, it doesn't make sense. Also, you need to think about mail. How are you getting mail? Like, you need a business address. Yes, you can use a different one, so that kind of solves that. But it's like, why are you adding extra steps to your life? At this point, you could have just been doing this shit in your home like everybody else, going to work with a nail shop, okay, and splitting the percentage, whatever the case may be.
Storage unit businesses. If you own a small business or you want to own a small business but you don't have the space for it, I'm going to tell you how you can put your small owned business in a storage unit facility and work out of it. Well, the first thing that you want to make sure that you have is an EIN, and then you want to get a business tax number. You can do those by just Googling them in your city. The process is fairly easy and should cost you no more than like $150. Here's some quick advice. Don't use your home address as your business address because you don't want to get audited. The next thing you should do is create a small and easy website. You can use Square, that's what I use. The easy part has now been done. The next thing you want to do is start calling storage facilities near you and ask them if you can house your business and a rental. Now, you absolutely don't want to be sneaky. You want to build a trusting relationship where you're going to be working out of. Not to mention, they have cameras so they can see you coming in and out. And if you're in your storage unit for a little too long, they will come down and say something. You also want to make sure that your unit is climate controlled and has electricity. For liability, make sure you do as much as you can at home and use your rental space for processing. That limits the amount of time that you have to be in here. Now, my last two pieces of advice: make sure you get your own portable hotspot because you are going to need some internet if you are processing orders. And make sure you get a power source because you might need some extra lights, even some AC. You might need to use some printers, some laptops, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you get a power source. Mine is from EcoFlow. I got it off Amazon.
We're not thinking about proper licensure. We're not talking about proper business etiquette and all this extra shit. Like, everybody's just like, oh, well, start your own business right now. It's super fast. Shut the fuck up. Like, I hate the fact that these people just be walking y'all into the fire with these damn scams. All fun and games, and it all sounds great until you actually put it into practice, because a lot of people refuse to do research. For a lot of people, research is TikTok. Okay, you know how many times someone asks me about something and I try to tell them, like, yo, you know, you should probably do this. I've looked into it before. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'll find some TikToks. I'll learn more. No, bitch. Get your ass on Google, okay? Don't just go on social media, right, and take the first video or first post that you see as Bible. A lot of y'all don't know how to research anymore. I'm guessing they're not teaching that in schools either, which I'm not shocked about, because the kids can't fucking read and they don't even know how to tell time, okay, because everything's digital now. Like, I'm very concerned for the future, and that's another story for another time. That's another video for another time. But I'm very concerned at the fact that a lot of people's research starts with TikTok. Okay, y'all go on TikTok and y'all take shit for face value instead of actually looking into what you need to look into, especially when it comes to starting a business. When it comes to the whole licensure situation, y'all need to understand, if the city or state catches wind that you're doing a lot of these personal services in storage units, they're going to come, they're going to shut you down, they're going to fine the fuck out of you, and then you're going to have to go to court. It's not a game. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, it happens to people all the time, even with people doing certain things out of their homes, you know? But at least there's things, like, especially when you're selling food out of your home, now they have cottage licenses, right? Like, there's different things set up for people to be able to do things a bit easier, especially in their homes. Storage units does not fall under that, right? Starting a business in a storage unit just Again, doesn't look good, is unprofessional, is uncleanly. Like, I can't think of any business that would be suitable in there except for maybe something that's just office based. Like, you just want to work in a storage unit. Like, you don't want to be home, you just want to work in a storage unit, so you get one. I get that, like, from a work from a home perspective, or even like a consult. I wouldn't even do a consultation in a storage unit. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Like, that shit just don't look good. Yeah, I come step into my office and you walking into a storage unit and you're lifting up the... I say. So with that being said, comment down below. What do you guys think about this video? Do you guys agree? Do you guys think I'm far off? Do you guys think I'm a hater? I ain't a hater. I don't give a fuck. But I would love to hear your opinions down below. And most notably, have you actually heard about this? Because I honestly, I was so shook. And then people just lately have been sending a lot of these to me. And I'm like, I'm not shocked anymore. I'm really not. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Shout outs to the patrons, the members, and the investors. I love you so very much. If you're not part of the gang, why are you not at least on the Patreon? I have a 7-day $1 trial. Is lit. You have access to everything for 7 days. We got dedicated series, early access, and more. Shout outs to those of you guys who are on my Haitian channel or my personal channel. If you guys are not aware, I just wrapped up a really poppin' ass charter school series. Like, I literally just quit a charter. It was so bad. I need to actually probably do a sit down comprehensive video on why charter schools should get shut down. Like, of all the schools I've worked in, I could only recommend one charter. And the other schools that I can recommend, one is public and one's a Jewish school. The rest of them, piss poor, garbage, poo-poo, horrible. So if you guys are interested in hearing that, I'm going to link everything down below. Shout outs to those of you guys who've been supporting my nonprofit, LakayRo, which aims to help underprivileged youth and adults discover dance. If you'd like to leave a donation, everything is linked down below. Check out the website for upcoming classes. Follow me on Instagram for updates because every time I do something new, I'm posting it on Instagram. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so very much, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.